Thanks for joining me as I travel the world, going from fine dining through to street food and local specialties, all in an effort to find the world's best seafood. Hey folks, so I'm in New York City now. I'm in a taxi heading to Sushi Nakazawa. Sushi Nakazawa is kind of a legendary place in New York. It's considered one of the best in New York. The Nakazawa was actually the apprentice of Jiro, who's considered the best sushi chef in the world. This place is famous for their sushi set where they serve you one piece of Japanese fish followed by one of the equivalent North American one, and you get them side by side to see the difference. I don't know if there's any variations in the menu yet, but let's go take a look. Thank you. It's okay, you can go through. Is Chef Nakazawa here tonight?
He's the one in the center. Ask for your back.
Ah, the only no-hatted man. So you can see they have a huge wine list. A book of different wines. In the end, I went for the Sancerre. It's a really great match for seafood. This one actually turned out to be a little bit more bitter than I was used to.
Really nice that this place gives you a finger wipe here and lets you know that you can use your fingers for the sushi. For a place that only sells sushi though, it's kind of unusual being traditional that they even give you chopsticks. This place has a 20-piece omakase of sushi, and they do have an a la carte afterwards if you want it, but they won't show you the menu before. And yeah, finger wipes there that you can use your fingers. Quite nice. It's such a nerdy thing, but I often say with my wife, you can judge most sushi bars by how good their ginger is. This one being house pickled, I've never had that before. It's thicker cut than average, a milder pickling. It's nice, what it should be to refresh the palate. So first up is two kinds of salmon, a cherry salmon and then a smoked one. This one is with salt and a citrus, and then this one with wasabi.
I'd like to show you the wasabi on your sushi pieces. We always using a fresh organic wasabi, great in Waibeko maker sushi. And on top of your right hand side of the salmon, we sprinkle the Japanese sea salt. And also the sriracha, which is this citrus.
Okay, is that something like yuzu or smaller one?
Yes, this is yuzu.
Okay.
Yuzu we use the skin part, and sriracha we split the juice.
Okay.
Yuzu, and we have a yuzu pepper, pickled plum, also the Welsh sea salt flakes, sea salt leaves, yellow mustard, spicy daikon. We all are using all these fresh spices.
Excellent,
Yes,
thank you.
The hay smoked chum salmon is really flavoursome. Both of them, compared to really traditional Japanese, well not really traditional, compared to fine dining Japanese now, a little bit bigger rice, a little bit thinner fish, and a little bit drier rice as well.
Scallop from northern Japan, rock squid from near Tokyo, angry rock fish from the south, and this one I forgot the name, but they're all with their own individual dressings. I have to say this is quite different to what I expected. I thought everything was going to be a piece of American and a piece of Japanese side by side for tasting. You can see under this translucent one that there's a slice of something, we'll see, that's being used to marinate it. This one's been lightly grilled, and this one's been scored with their house marinade.
So look, all of those were good. It's something that really striking me is that this place it's real fusion. In Australia, I think they take it too far. You've got like blended avocado and stuff on your sushi. At the really traditional places in Japan, it's just only sea fish, rice, and then soy sauce or whatever. Here, adding yuzu and shiso and salt and this and that, to be honest, good, thank you. It's a great match for the fish in a lot of the time, and it makes it a different experience. And I think for New York that works. But to come here expecting a Jiro experience, you're not going to have it. The service is fantastic, though. Everyone's polite. They know about the food and stuff. I really do feel though that they should be letting the fish speak better. If the fish is really great and you want to be a #1 sushi bar, you need to have the fish be the predominant flavor. In Jiro, the rice was outstanding and really did take a forefront place, but here I feel it's maybe just a little bit dry, a little bit, like a couple of % too dry. And I realize this is a stupid, it's a first world problem for want of a better word, but having eaten at some of the best sushi bars in the world and paying a lot here, you expect it.
So these guys are both mackerel. You can see this one's been a little bit pickled by the white color, and this is another one, a Spanish mackerel, but you can see the way they're finished, skin on, skin off, dressed. This is somehow dressed differently, but they give an eating order, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a raw prawn with caviar, and this is some kind of crab with the crab innards as well. Props on the mackerel. Both of them were really well marinated and controlled the really fishy flavor that a lot of people would find objectionable. I actually like mackerel, but the way they did it was great. Okay, the prawn was exceptional. Really juicy, the dominant flavor, really liked it. The crab, I'm glad they added the innard sauce, that really gave it a punch. The smoky flavor of the roasted seaweed that was reasonably fresh was good, but the crab to rice ratio was too light, and the flavor of the crab got lost in that one. One thing that ruins fine dining in New York is the hip atmosphere where everyone's loud and opinionated. The other night I had people talking about their astrology. Here I have someone talking about the power of dance to change the world. Okay, next dish. This one, I don't know why they keep changing up the order. It's ridiculous. Left to right, top to bottom. Now we're going these two, then these two. We're looking at, this is hamachi. This is Japanese. This is I think it's smoked, he said, hamachi. And then we've got 3 types of tuna from the same tuna. These are all from the same fish, I hope, from Boston. Now the names he gave really surprised me. I hadn't heard them. But essentially, for those who know the normal names, this would be Maguro, Chutoro, and Otoro. So towards the lean part of the tuna, the medium part, and then the hugely marbled belly of the tuna. This is a really expensive one. To be honest, this is usually my favorite. Okay, on the first two, the first one, the fish was really good. Maybe I'm spoiled to talk about that, but the fish was too small. The second one, the way it was prepared, it was so soft, it goes down really quick, but the flavor was good. On the first two, I really don't think these have the flavor of a Japanese tuna. I don't know if it's the fish or the way it's prepared. And the second one, the wasabi was too heavy. It overpowered the flavor of the fish. Maybe I'm running the risk of, there aren't too many people who eat one than the other, real Jiro than this. But it completely loses the atmosphere of having someone prepare it for you right in front of you and then having everything hit the table at the right time. Maybe that slight under preparation of the rice is because of the 30 seconds or a minute it takes to get to your table. And if you've never been to a place like that, you wouldn't notice. The service is first class. The knowledge of the staff is really unbelievable, actually. I'm really impressed. Any question I ask them, they know it. I don't want to badmouth this place, but if you come here having been to Jiro, I think you'll be disappointed. Okay, next course we have some of the favorites. We've got the sea urchin. This is from Hokkaido in Japan. It looks small, to be honest, and not that plump. And then salmon roe. Again, if this was a Jiro, the holes seeing through to the rice would not be 5-star, but this one is from, where did he say? I think from North America somewhere. And you'll note it's a little bit cloudy. The uni was ruined.
sadly. Salmon caviar was big, juicy, mild, one of surprisingly the best dishes. I think it could do with having been chilled slightly, but the flavor and texture were really, really good.
Absolutely, by far the quickest dish that's come out is this one after I mentioned that the uni was no good. This one is a different type of uni. By looking at it, it's a lot creamier. Still, the presentation quality, this is not a 3 Michelin star place. And then this one should be a roll containing the same uni as the other one. I realize in almost every situation, any kind of presentation is fine. Fancy plate, that's enough. But when you're paying several $100s for a dish and it's being advertised as the best in the city, it should be judged as such.
Look, I'm really particular about uni. If you have subpar uni, it's no good, and most people don't like it. But if you have the best, everyone will love it. I really think that. That last one I had, it was so creamy, but it had a bitter aftertaste that I've never had before. It's just not world-class standard. And at this price, I think it's reasonable to expect that.
The uni roll, by look and idea, is fantastic. Having it wrapped up and closed at one end means it won't spill out. You get more of the seaweed flavor, but it's not served promptly enough to get it at when it's still crunchy before it goes chewy. It ended up being chewy. And the other thing, adding the shiso leaf in there, it may slightly balance the flavor, but with the small amount of uni that's in there, as creaminess and nice as it was, the shiso leaf is overpowering.
Okay, interesting that they are giving me an extra of the uni to make up for it, and all of this is available, so there's quite a bit. It finishes with anago and the egg custard, tamago, which I believe is made in the traditional way with the mountain yam here. So let's have a look and see what I want to get. Okay, let's get the zouk, the sea bream, the snapper, the karumi. Let's see which of the uni I haven't had, and then I'll get the scallop hand roll and the wagyu. So here we are with the scallop hand roll, the big eye snapper, and then the tuna. Now, it could be my mistake, but I don't think that's the one that I ordered. The scallop roll it's everything that you think of when you think of American fusion, like adding jalapeno to hamachi. It doesn't match that well, but it's what's expected. Here, whatever they match the scallop with was overpowering. I'll check what it was. That time, the flavor and grilling of the big eye fish was impeccable, but it was too much salt. The tuna was good.
Okay, here's the last of what I ordered. Now, it's a note to myself that they really only serve sushi here. This is the prawn. This is the wagyu. I actually thought it might be a small piece of cooked wagyu, but no, it's a tiny sliver for sashimi. And then as he served it, he said this is another piece of the Japanese uni, and I thought I had ordered the one that had not been on the menu before. I'm surprised by the dark piece in the middle. I don't know if that's a different part of the uni, or I don't know.
So far for me, the two prawn dishes are probably among the two best. The raw one was big, juicy, plump, ample. The cooked one was perfect temperature. I ate it as soon as it came out, so that's a good sign. It's a risk you run when you serve 3, 4, 6 pieces at a time instead of one. On the last two, the beef was actually quite good, had a nice flavor, mild, the most tender beef you'll ever eat. The uni was fine, the dark spot was just aesthetic, but in Japan, again, you would never get that. The flavor was fine, but still not at the same size or texture that you would get at a fine place in Japan.
Okay, last two dishes of the night. Anago, which is just from Tokyo Bay, which is a saltwater eel, and then the tamago. Certainly looks a little different to the one from Jiro, but the traditional one, and that's what you're meant to finish on.
The anago is really good, so soft, well dressed, but the rice was loosely packed on my one, and the egg was really nice. If you've never had the original, it's probably the best you've ever had, but it's just not the same.
This is the roasted rice green tea. I think they call it genmancha. It's nice. I'm imagining this is a small palate cleanser before the final dish comes. Last dish, a little complimentary lychee, as he called it, sorbet.
This is the definition of hip versus zen. It's fusion, it's made for a Western palate, it's westernized, it's, you know, they've strayed from their roots. It's good, the service is fantastic, it's attentive, it's everything you would expect here, but if you're coming here because he's the apprentice of Jiro, expect something different, not the same thing. Then you won't come disappointed. So what's the damage? Keeping in mind that this guy is the apprentice of Jiro, this is super hyped, and we're in New York City, there's probably no surprise. And when you see just how long that list of items was, plus the items that I ordered extra, going down the menu with the wine, with some Pellegrino, bam, $300 with tax. Once you add in the tip, you're talking 360 big ones. Please do like and subscribe. I've got loads more videos coming. I've been to some of the best restaurants in the world, and I just need to get the videos edited and out. I'll see you guys soon.